liberal democratic themes underlying it, but it's a normal movie. It's just got a liberal message. That's how we have to be thinking. So I can't watch these movies. The acting is bad. They're like low budget. It's just so they're beating you over the head with a political message. Like, I'm already against abortion, okay? So I don't need to see the movie. Right? And the only people that are watching these movies are people that already believe this stuff. You know, like Dinesh D'Souza puts out, we need to be propagandists too. So he puts out a documentary about how Hitler was a Democrat. Who's going to go watch that except for Republicans? Who are you converting with that crap? Whereas, you know, if you put out a movie like The Avengers, well, you're going to convert some people with your liberal programming. So... And the Web says, how about winning the meme war with Benny Johnson? So based in red pill, surely AI and immigration aren't as high of a priority as recycled memes. Well, what's funny about when boomers try to co-opt memes is that memes are funny because they are racist. Memes are funny because they're racist, they're sexist, they're all of those things. I mean, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that's the only way you can make a funny meme. Because it's edgy, it's true, it pushes the boundaries. By its very nature, somebody like Benny Johnson could not make a funny meme. You know, it's a non-starter because the whole point of the meme is to be subversive. The whole point of the meme is to communicate a message which is not accepted, which is sort of outside of political correctness, outside of this Jewish political speech system. So somebody like Benny Johnson could never push a good meme. Memes are not about electing your gay Zionist candidate. That's not, you know, if you look at it that way, if it's a top-down astroturfed like campaign strategy that, what's that fat retard at Yale? What's his name? Cliff Mahoney. If he's creating and pushing memes, that's not what it's for. Memes are for changing consciousness. Memes are for changing racial consciousness. They're for delivering back to the people a real and organic state of mind, not astroturfing your, capitalist shill candidate. So, and it's kind of funny because on the flyer, I don't know if you saw this, Benny Johnson, he's this guy. He worked for BuzzFeed, got fired for being a plagiarist. Now he works for Turning Point USA, and he's doing a college speech tour called Winning the Meme Wars. And he's this loser. He's this big geek from Washington, D.C. He's one of these political hacks from D.C., some 30-something, just dork. And he's going to go around telling people how to win the meme war. That's the campus tour. And it's funny because on the poster for this campaign tour, he's got all these stale memes. He's got the one of that liberal girl crying at the inauguration. So that's really fresh. That's over 2 years old. The girl saying no at the inauguration. Yeah, I remember when I was doing that one 2 years and 3 months ago. And then the funniest thing to me is he's got Mike Pence there, electric Mike Pence with all the electricity around him. And it's funny because that basically says it all that's on the flyer, because he's such an out-of-touch boomer that he doesn't know what that meme actually means. He maybe thinks it means, oh, Mike Pence is cool. No, the reason you have electric Mike Pence is because Mike Pence is going to electrocute homosexuals, either through electroshock conversion therapy or through an electric chair. So he unwittingly puts a meme on there, which even though it's stale and it's old, does convey an unironically based message which says we're going to electrocute to death all homosexuals. And he puts that on the flyer, and if he knew what that meant, he would disavow it in a second. If he knew what that meme meant, he would say, this is homophobic and irresponsible and blah, blah, because he's a gay political hack. But he puts it on there because he's also a boomer, so he doesn't even know what it means. So no conviction, no soul, no spine, no guts, no balls. They're just, and I said this on Twitter, they're just scum-sucking bottom feeders, the lowest of the low. And they're the ones running our country, really. So people like Benny Johnson, I just have no stomach for. I have hatred for them. So yeah, he's going to go around telling us how to win the meme war. Yeah, okay. He says he's a meme lord. Ricky Vaughn was a meme lord. You're a pussy, dude. You're a Jewish-owned pussy, and everybody knows it. So that kind of stuff makes me so mad. When they try and co-opt meme culture, when they try and co-opt our culture, it's sort of like comedy. Comedy, I see like comedians who start to do well, like Bill Burr. Bill Burr I used to think was really funny, and then he got a TV show. Then he got really rich and famous, and now he's not funny anymore. Comedy is for people that are like sad. Comedy is for people that are sad and lonely, and in a lot of cases they have something wrong with them. Those are the people that can be funny. The same is true with memes. We're we create the memes because we really grapple every day with reality in a very true sense. You can never understand memes because you have a high-paying DC job. You'll be fine no matter what. You know, you're driving around in your, smart car. You're driving around in your electric car with your manicured little head and face and your fitted suit, and with your political hack friends, and you do yuppie things. You go around trying going to wine tastings. That's who you are. You could never make a good meme. You're not us. So it's downright offensive to me. It's cultural appropriation. Poo Poo King, my man, #1 super chatter, says, my favorite economist, Paul Steen Greenberg, says that immigrants from Congo will increase GDP by 1.5% if we import enough. Just something to think about. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good observation. That is something to consider. You know, I would invite Congolese immigrants into the country if they raise the GDP by a little bit. Paul Steen Greenberg, hey, seems white to me. Seems like a reputable, good white American, right? Somebody who just wants to see the country do well. Yeah, I'll bring in Congolese people who don't believe Ebola is real and they don't wash their hands. Yeah, if it increases the GDP by a 0.5%, I think it'll be worth it, right? So yeah, Poo Poo King bringing up some great points. We just got to have more. Just got to have enough, right? 400 million by 2100. We can do it. Not by reproducing ourselves. You just got to bring them in. Because you know who runs Hollywood? Liberal Democrats, right? You know who runs Hollywood. When I look at Hollywood, when I look at the media, bunch of effing liberal Democrats. I hate liberal Democrats, man. They're ruining everything. These liberal Democrats in Hollywood, these liberal Democrats in the media, liberal Democrats in D.C., they're running everything, and they're wrecking our country. We can't do anything so long as liberal Democrats are in control. These big government, socialist, racist liberal Democrats, they're making me so mad. I just want to vote them out of office in the next election, man. Yeah, you have a real problem. You have a real problem when you're up against that kind of power. You know, look at all the Hollywood celebrities. They're all liberal Democrats. All the producers, directors, liberal Democrats. Hello. Anderson Cooper, Jake Tapper, Jeff Zucker, who runs CNN, liberal Democrats. Brett Stevens, liberal Democrat. All the way around. It's just absolutely crazy the extent to which they've taken over. The real problem is this other group of people. You know, everybody says, well, the Illuminati runs the world, the Freemasons run the world, the aliens run the world. No, like somebody runs the world, but it's not them. It's this other group. This other group of people, very small, very powerful, wealthy. It's liberal Democrats. That's the real. Freemasons, Illuminati, that's a bunch of conspiracy stuff. Take a look at who's really pulling the strings. Jared Kushner, George Soros, Ivanka Trump, okay? Liberal Democrats, all of them. Everywhere you look, somebody thwarting a nationalist agenda. Liberal Democrat, okay? Ben Shapiro, liberal Democrat. Heavy Hebrew says, hey, Nick, have you ever thought of having another debate on religion with Jay Dyer? Yeah, maybe in 10 years when I read enough books. You know, the problem is this. I don't know nearly as much as Jay Dyer, so it's not fair. It's not fair. I wouldn't debate a top economist on economic matters in the same way that it was probably foolish for me to debate a literal, like, what does he have, a doctorate in theology who's been studying this stuff for 15 years, like as long as I've been a conscious, developed human being. So I bit off more than I could chew with that one. You know, you got to be able to admit that. So I'll probably debate him again in 10 years when I've got a sound grip on the issues, but yeah, so I'm not looking forward to that. He's probably the only one where I would say I took the L on that one. But hey, he's an expert, so that's the kind of person you want to take an L against. Mary Lamb says, in a sane world, Nickster would be our Walter Cronkite, except you'd be honest. Yeah, well, we don't live in a sane world, so that's how it goes, I guess. Billy says, I do not understand the appeal of Turning Point USA or any of those boomer conservative groups. They're so lame and cringe, they literally worship tax cuts. Their job is to create databases for the GOP. Like, that's really, at the end of the day, what it's about. Turning Point, Leadership Institute, Yale. It's about funneling young people into the GOP, into campaigns, and it's about collecting data on people and creating big Excel spreadsheets of conservatives on college campuses. Like, that's what Leadership Institute does. All they do is sell metadata. It used to be about organizing and that kind of thing. Now it's half that and half just like selling your data. Brandon Hansen says, how do Chapo traps our gay house fans not get the Ben Shapiro radicalizing meme? Thanks for the show. Always a highlight. P.S. Get a haircut, you wop. Wow. Some anti-Italian racism on the timeline. I think I deserve reparations for that. I don't know what you mean. The Ben Shapiro radicalizing me, not a meme. Not a meme. Not a joke. Ben Shapiro did radicalize me. Ben Shapiro is alt-right. Think about it. Think about it. He called for population transfer. He hates black people music. Hates rap music is what I mean by that. He's alt-right, He's pro-identity politics. He's pro-ethnic nationalism. He's an alt-right guy. He's too extreme even for me. He's calling for all Palestinians to be deported from Muslims. I don't even believe that for America, So, what did he do a video on? How all Muslims are radicals and this kind of stuff. So, no, that ain't no joke though. Like Kanye West once said, it ain't no joke though. He did radicalize me. He is alt-right. Let's see. Josh Sayre says, what do you think of an app that complies and easily shows demographic data so that people can live in neighborhoods and cities that fits their taste? Interesting concept, but I have a feeling that wouldn't last very long. Because what they try to do, frankly, in every country now, is to remove that data as much as possible. I have some friends in Canada who work in real estate, and they were telling me that in Canada they don't provide certain statistics about crime, about demographics, for that very reason. And I'm sure that's coming to America soon. And probably if you introduce that, it would come sooner. So it's a good idea. It's funny. Whenever my mom drives to the city, I think she said one time, we need a feature on Google Maps that says, how do I avoid the ghetto? Because, that's literally it. If you try and get off the expressway, like, how are you going to navigate and not get killed in, like, Garfield Park or Humboldt Park or whatever, McKinley Park? So that'd be a great idea. It'd actually be very useful. But I imagine that kind of thing would be short-lived. They believe that the greatest peril that we're in right now is that there might be conflict. People are divided. Oh no. Well, why are they divided? Retard? Why are people mad at each other? Because they have diametrically opposite views about very important issues. And that is the mark of where we are in history, where people can have the luxury of raising up the banner of being against division itself. What horse are you choosing in this race? Are you going to fight on the side of radical equality, or on the side of order, or on the side of Christ, or on the side of reason? Just don't fight. Just don't be too mean to each other. Imagine being that person. Number one, it's boring. Number two, it's gay. It's just dumb, dude. And that's what these people are. Intellectual dark web, intellectual Jewish web. And it's like the dumb Jewish web is what it is. They're all either Jewish or married to Jews, and it's no wonder that Jewish people oppose conflict, because who loses? Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. In many conflicts, they're the winners. But in certain conflicts, they end up on a not-so-great position. So in particular kinds of conflicts, struggles for nationhood, that kind of thing, they tend to be on the losing side when people start to look at in-groups and out-groups. If it's just like a war of a country against a country, well, they're actually not doing bad. They're actually doing quite good. But when it comes to this is us and you are them, well, that's when they say, hey, everybody just calm down. We just should de-escalate this. And, so it's no surprise, these dopies. Imagine that. You've got compelling cases on either side. Trump is a fascist. He's going to make it hard for marginalized groups. I think that's dumb, but it's compelling. If you are of a certain temperament, that would be a compelling message. Social justice, whatever. And on our side, well, this is a struggle of God against, nihilistic atheism and evil and whatever. And they're in the middle, the centrist fence sitters saying, well, just please, can we just talk it out? Can we just sell out a venue and talk about it and be very smart and we'll jerk each other off? We're all so smart. I'm so smart and you're so smart. And look how cool we are having this conversation. And you're all winners because you paid to see a conversation happen. Really? They're worse. They're worse than our enemies. At least our enemies are fighting for something. They're fighting for no fighting, So dumb. Makes me so angry. Yeah, really smart. I don't care about anything. I just care about I would never have any convictions. Nothing is worth fighting for.